लेफ्ट और राइट? ठीक, आप इसमें बैठिए सर, मैं इस फील्ड में बैठिए.
Please have your tea first. फिर करने में शुरू.
दो 3 मिनट का टाइम दे.
Yes, sir. शुरू करें? Hello. I believe Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal has had a press conference here today. कौन सा है? Which is the mic? This one.
हाँ नहीं,
इसको.
ऐसा कर दो. मैं इधर हो जाऊँ. हाँ ठीक है. ये है ना. आवाज़ आ रही है.
आज आ रही है आवाज नहीं?
बिल्कुल आराम से बैठिए प्लीज. करिए.
और राइट को?
इधर चलो.
Okay.
वो इसका सेंटर में.
Okay. How about it now? Okay. Mr. Younger Badal had a meeting today, in Delhi, in which he has levied certain charges against the Congress party. Let me tell you the background of this. Firstly, of course, why Badal has come to Delhi is intriguing in itself. I think this is the first time he's had a meeting here. He should have had it in Chandigarh. But unfortunately for him, the Chandigarh people know fully well what is happening in Punjab, and therefore he's decided to give it a skip and come here. The fact is, he has tried to justify the failure of his own government in maintaining law and order, and he's tried to put the whole blame on the Sarvat Khalsa, which he says is responsible for doing whatever is happening in Punjab, and the Congress party has something to do with it. Let me tell you what is happening in Punjab and why the Sarvat Khalsa was held. Firstly, what is the Sarvat Khalsa? If you look at history, before television, before newspapers, before everything, whenever there was any issue facing the community, a congregation was called at any particular place, normally in Amritsar, where everybody came from various parts of the country, wherever they were settled, to give their views at that congregation which was known as Sarvat Khalsa. And it was matters pertaining to the community which were discussed. Now, before this meeting was held, Punjab has been going through a very difficult time. Yahan, we have had in Punjab 12,000 farmers who have lost their crops, 12,000 acres. Plenty of farmers, but 12,000 acres of cotton crop was destroyed. Why? Because spurious seed was brought by the Punjab Agriculture Department and spurious pesticide was provided to them. End result being that the white fly destroyed the crop. The purchase of paddy is well below the MSP, the basmati. As a consequence, you've had many suicides taking place, and even today in the newspapers it was that one more has taken place. People are, the youth are without jobs, and that is growing. Drug addiction as a consequence is growing. Generally, it's a complete disenchantment with this government in Punjab, and therefore there was an attempt at the very senior upper level, and that is why we are calling for an inquiry, which I'll be talking to you. But to divert public opinion away from all these things onto something else, a sort of a controlled destabilization which took place once earlier. I don't know if any of you remember, I was very much part of it then, that at one time when the trouble started in Punjab, how did it start? The tails of cows were cut off and thrown into mandirs, and cigarette boxes were thrown into the Gurdwara Sarovars, and clash of communities took place. This happened in the 70s. Now here again, controlled destabilization of a type, that a Guru Granth Sahib was stolen from a village, Bargadi, and for 5 months they couldn't trace it. And after that, it was found in tatters and pieces, pages thrown in villages, in the nalis and gullies and all. And that, as a consequence, brought about a feeling of anger in the whole of the state. And as a result, what happened in Bargadi, where this incident took place, on the road there were about 250 people, including majority being women, who were sitting there to protest on the road. They had blocked the road, and they were actually praying in that particular place. When an SSP from Moga arrives, Mr. Sharma, and he is heard by people when he gets out of the car of saying कि आज इनको सबक सिखाना है, and then he orders the firing on these people. Innocent people who are sitting there saying their prayers. 2 were killed on the spot, 37 were injured, and they had to be carried off. I've seen people, Rahul ji went there, fingers blown off, through the leg, through the arm, 2 have got it through the spine. So they are in a bad situation. It was there all around. Now when this happened, anger further flared up, and as a consequence, organizers who wanted to take advantage of this situation called the Sarbat Khalsa, which was in Taran district, in Amritsar Taran district, and at that congregation, it was dominated by some of those organizations which are considered to be not anti-national but certainly hot-headed, and they had this meeting. Now the people who went to that meeting did not go there for any political reason. They did not go there to be part of any Khalistani organization. Incidentally, Mr. Maan, who was there, was not allowed to speak, and he is the promoter of Khalistan in Punjab, and he was asked to leave the stage. So he left the stage. But in that meeting, a lot of people were disappointed because they felt that the organizers would raise the issue of anger that is coming there, what has happened to the farmers, what is happening to the youth, what is various things, but nothing was raised. Some resolutions are passed which most of the organizations later on rejected, which was changing the Jathedars of the Akal Takht and the other Takhts, and these sort of things were finished off. Now who took part in them? As I said, people who were interested in bringing about some sort of raising their voices about the happenings in Punjab. And in that, 2 people who were from the Congress party went. One was MLA, Mr. Sikhi. Mr. Sikhi had resigned from the MLA-ship just before that. And why he had resigned was, and why he was so upset was, he is basically, as an individual, a very religious-minded man. And if you verify with your own people in Punjab, they will tell you that from the 1st of January to 31st of January, every year, he lives 24/31 inside the Golden Temple doing seva. So that's the individual makeup of this individual. But why he resigned was because one of the villages where the Guru Granth Sahib was torn was in his constituency. And he was, as a consequence, very, very worked up about it, and he quit. The other gentleman was Mr. Zira. His constituency is next door, and he went there in their own capacity. Now, the Sarbat Khalsa is not a political institution. It's an institution where, as I mentioned to you, anyone can go. Now, here is a case also of the BSP chairman, Mr. Karim Puri. He was also there. Now, that doesn't make him an extremist also. So the point is that this was a wide-based thing. We did not go. None of us went, because we know exactly what is going on there. And the Congress has always maintained a very secular image in Punjab, even in those difficult times when terrorism was at its peak. The Congress party held its own and fought against it. And while these people, Mr. Prakash Singh Badal was the first man to tear the Constitution. I think you must be aware of this. He tore the Constitution. He was arrested for it. He spent some time locked up, and then it was he and under his leadership, the Akali Dal, which was telling these boys at that time, "Aage lago ladko, hum aapke piche hain." And he pushed all these boys into extremism and terrorism and got them all killed. 35,000 people have died, and he didn't stop then only. It's on his insistence that in Darbar Sahib, a memorial has been built to those people who died there. I opposed it, and I opposed it by saying build a memorial to those Punjabis who died there, which are 35,000 of us who died in Punjab. But no, it was to be only built for those extremists who died with Sant Pindrawale inside the Golden Temple. Now this is the sort of man that you've got here. Where is our Chief Minister? I want to know that. Why isn't he out? Why doesn't he go around Punjab? If Rahul Gandhi can walk in his daughter-in-law's constituency, who is a minister here, and his own constituency, which falls within this district, and he can walk from village to village, and he can go into the homes of people and talk to them, not only those who had lost their lives by suicide, but into other villages also. What prevents this fellow or his son or his daughter-in-law to go? Because they know what's going to happen to them. Anywhere where the Akali Dal is going today, they are being beaten up. Yesterday, their Minister of Rural Development and Panchayats was beaten up in his own constituency. Now, this is the state of affairs, and naturally, he's come here to try and throw the blame on the Congress party. What is the Congress party's fault in this? It is this man's doing, it's an incompetence of the Akali Dal. The Chief Minister has not yet spoken on this matter. He has not come out into the field. He hasn't then gone to visit those people where those families have died or been shot. They have conveniently handed over the whole matter to the CBI. But the terms of reference which have been issued do not include the checking up of why the police did this firing. Now, normally when firing is done, resorted to, I'm an ex-soldier, I've been trained in it too. You have maybe an 11-man group, or maybe a 20-man or 30-man group, whatever the requirement is. And a magistrate goes along with it under an officer. And that magistrate decides whether firing should take place. And then the officer concerned orders one soldier to load and says, that is the man who is the ringleader, shoot him. That is the way it's done. Not you get out of your car and you order the whole police force to start firing everybody, and after that's not ended. The moment the firing is over, then they do a lathi charge, and whatever is left, they beat them up also. Then you catch hold of two people and you take them that these are the people behind it from one side, and the other side you take a Granthi and his wife from another Gurdwara where this has happened, and you beat them black and blue. One of those first two is now in the PGI with a damaged spine. The police beat him so much. And now then after 2 days you release them to say that they are not involved. And why did you beat them? Why did you arrest them? Now you got an FIR which has been lodged without any names. How can you have this? We are saying, therefore, that was why our Vice President took us in a delegation to meet the President, that a sitting judge of the Supreme Court or the High Court must make an inquiry into the entire incident in toto, from A to Z, to tell us what exactly has transpired there. Who ordered the firing? Who was this SSP saying कि आज सबक सिखाना है? किसी ने तो हुक्म दिया उसको? किसने हुक्म दिया? और आप देखोगे ये हुक्म बादलों से आएगा नीचे. That is why they are trying to cover up and try to change this whole thing. It's a controlled destabilization which has gone out of control. That is what they were trying. Now, if there's anything you wish to ask. $100%. आज तो उनकी पोजीशन ये है कि मैं समझता हूँ अगर आज इलेक्शन हो जाए एक सीट नहीं आएगी उनकी. तो एक सीट तो क्या आएगी, तो कैंपेन नहीं कर सकेंगे, इनको तो पिटाई होगी जहाँ जाएंगे. आज जहाँ अकाली जा रहे हैं उनकी पिटाई हो रही है. हाँ. देखिए राहुल जी के साथ उनका क्या रोल था वहाँ. उनका रोल था सिर्फ इतना कि हमें वो लीड करके गए थे कि जहाँ दो परिवार थे जिनमें उनको गोली लगी थी और उनके दो शहीद हो गए थे, उनके घरों में गए, उनके परिवारों को मिले उनके साथ बैठे, उनके साथ वाले घरों में गए, ऐसा उनका काम था सिर्फ, ओनली। मैं तो उनके साथ था एट ऑल द टाइम। तो इन पे लगाना कि सरबत खालसा उन्होंने कर दिया। व्हाट इज़ राहुल गांधी का सरबत खालसा में के साथ क्या कनेक्शन, अमरिंदर सिंह का क्या कनेक्शन है? अगर सरबत खालसा हमें करना पड़ता तो अमरिंदर सिंह तो आज से 30 साल पहले ज्वाइन कर जाते हैं उनको। फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज़ कि ये बिल्कुल गलत बातें हो रही हैं। राहुल जी का कोई कनेक्शन नहीं उसमें, कांग्रेस पार्टी का कोई कनेक्शन नहीं उसमें। वो स्पॉन्टेनियस बात उठी थी लोगों में, और लोग पहुंचे थे सुनने के लिए वहाँ लोग कि ये जो प्रबंधक हैं वहाँ वो क्या करते हैं, क्या कहते हैं। और जब उन्होंने देखा कि कोई बात नहीं हो रही है तो कुछ और बातें चल रही हैं, सो देन दे लेफ्ट, बिकॉज लोग नहीं चाहते थे। देखिए एक बात आप समझो, आज SGPC है इनके हाथ में, अकालियों के हाथ में, लेकिन SGPC एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है। वो इंस्टीट्यूशन 1920 से लेकर 1925 तक एक संघर्ष चला था, महंतों से गुरुद्वारे निकाले गए थे, और 1925 में हमारा गुरुद्वारा लहर पूरी हुई और SGPC श्रोमणी गुरुद्वारा प्रबंधक कमेटी की नियुक्त की गई। और उसमें वो इंस्टीट्यूशन 25 से लेकर अब तक वो सिर्फ हमारे गुरुद्वारों को चलाती थी या जथेदारों को अपॉइंट करती थी। तो मैंने कहा कि मैं जो ये जथेदार इन्होंने अपनाए हैं, हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते इनको। आज आपने जथेदार बदल दिए, कल 2 लाख की मीटिंग मैं करके उनको बदल दूंगा, तो फिर एक मखौल बन जाएगा कम्युनिटी में। जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है SGPC, अगर उसको जो चलाते हैं वो खराब लोग हैं तो इलेक्शन करा के निकालो उनको, बट डोंट किल एन इंस्टीट्यूशन, ये मैंने कहा था। तो और राहुल जी इज़ गॉट नथिंग टू डू विद दिस इज़ एन इंटरनल अफेयर। और इसमें तो ऐसे ही इनको, क्योंकि अब एक कन्फ्यूज़ हो गए, इनको मालूम है कि हमें पता नहीं कि हम करेंगे क्या आगे को, तो उनके हमारे कांग्रेस पे फेंक रहे हैं। और नेचुरली वाइस प्रेसिडेंट थे तो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट पे फेंक रहे। क्या ना है? 1 मिनट जी, मैं आऊँगा आपके पास। हाँ जी। Now that's absurd. Absurd. Let me tell you, it's absurd. If you think that anything that goes wrong in this country, unfortunately, has to be outside influences. ISI कर दो या CIA कर दो, या पहले क्या करते थे, some other country की कोई investigation agency है जो कर रही है, या such things. Fact of the matter is there any proof? If there is proof, then you have an IB in this country. You have a research and analysis wing in the country. They don't know. Mr. Badal knows. Where does Mr. Badal make these comments from? किस तरीके से comment करते हैं वो? On what basis? I have been Chief Minister of Punjab. I should know how much the intelligence gathering is and how it is done. There is no such thing. कोई बात ही नहीं है इसमें। ये तो अपने कंधों से निकाल के किसी और पे फेंकना चाहता है, but that's all. Sorry? Who are the secessionist forces in that rally? Mr. Simranjit Singh Mann. Mr. Simranjit Singh Mann had to leave the stage because the organizers did not allow him to speak. So he is the secessionist of the person. किसने बोला आपको? वो तो आप निकल के चले गए, वो बोले नहीं। वो तो उन्होंने बाद में बयान दिया है कि मुझे मैं बीमार हो गया था, मैं चला गया उधर से, मैं नहीं बोला। जीरा सिंह नहीं, उनका नाम है इंद्रजीत सिंह जीरा, एंड देयर इज मिस्टर रमनजीत सिंह सिक्की। ओके, दोज टू आई हैव जस्ट टोल्ड यू। मिस्टर रमनजीत सिंह सिक्की इज अ वेरी नंबर 1 अ वेरी रिलीजियस माइंडेड मैन है। उनका 1 जनवरी से 31 जनवरी तक वो अंदर ही रहते हैं, दरबार साहब में सेवा करते, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, उनका गांव है बाठ गांव, BATH, बाठ गांव, जिसमें एक गुरु ग्रंथ साहब को फाड़ के वहाँ फेंका था, इनके हल्के, इनके कंस्टिट्यूंसी में। तो इनको उस टाइम बड़े इमोशनल हो गए थे और उन्होंने जाके उधर अटेंड भी किया और अपनी रेजिग्नेशन भी दे दी हमारे MLA शिप से। Who has told you that? Who has told you that? Who has told you that? Go to Punjab now. That is what I'm telling you. Why has Sukhbir Badal come here? Because these questions wouldn't be asked to me in Chandigarh. Everyone knows that the Akali Dal is zero today, and the Congress party is well on the way to winning there. And these are sort of attempts being made by this deputy chief minister to try and divert public opinion. Today the Congress party, let me tell you, is right on top, and the Akali Dal is totally. I do not give them, if elections are held today, even one seat in the state. Ji, aap kehna chahe. 1 minute, ji, can I? No, I am not boycotting. Please remember one thing. What we are talking about today had not happened then. And we were losing ground in the state. In that period, I have done all over 47 rallies. I have done 48 meetings over tea with workers. I have done 27 luncheon meetings with workers. And I spent those so many days touring. And I informed Delhi that I am touring. It's difficult now to break because these meetings had been announced from earlier. So you want to know whether I'm attending the next one? Yes. Yes. No. I think it's absolutely incorrect. There is no militancy. Nobody wants militancy. I have got no jobs in Punjab. Our boys are. What happened in the 70s is today still manifesting itself. There is no industry moving out. Our textile industry has moved to Ahmedabad. Our bicycle industry has all closed down and moved to Jharkhand. Our even a company in Barnala, which has employs about 12,000 people, has moved to Madhya Pradesh and increased 3 times there. So 36,000 jobs are created there. So we are worried very immensely about our youngsters getting jobs. And what is the net result is? Law and order is deteriorating because there's chain snatching and all is on the increase, petty crime. And apart from that, you have the drug addiction going up. Frustration is building up. So these are things that we are deeply concerned about. Now today, let me tell you how they make dramas. Yesterday they had a press conference, a cabinet meeting. And in the cabinet meeting, they have raised the pensions of old age pensions and all from 1,000 to 2,000. Do you know they haven't paid pensions for 9 months? Do you know that our teachers today have not been paid for 6 months? And these are serving teachers, not retired teachers. And they are making all this drama to try and divert people again that we are going to give so much more pension. And there's no money. Punjab is in a debt of 1,25,000 crores. And they are trying to borrow another 17,000. We don't have the revenue generation even to meet our debt servicing. So we are in a very bad way. Anji? Absolutely. I don't know. So that's up to the Congress President and the Vice President. क्या बना रहे हैं?
80s का माहौल, हर चीज़ का 80s का 1980s का माहौल.
अरे भाई कौन बनाता है माहौल? हमने बनाया है, इन्होंने बनाया है. They are the people who have done it in the 80s and 70s and 90s. Who was them? It is these Akali leaders who have done all this. Today they are still honoring those people by making it. Since the 6th Guru built the Akal Takht, no institute, nothing was built inside the Golden Temple except now when they have built a memorial to those terrorists who died in there. इसके लिए इनके लिए बना, उनके लिए मेमोरियल बनाया. अगर बनाते सब पंजाब के लिए जो मरे हैं तो हम मान सकते हैं, लेकिन दिस इज ओनली डन टू यूलॉजाइज जो वहाँ हुआ था. एक्चुअली उसके बाद फिर इंडस्ट्री कौन आएगी? कहाँ से आएगी इंडस्ट्री मेरे पंजाब में? हुआ इंडस्ट्री नहीं आएगी तो हाउ विल द रेवेन्यू जनरेशन गो अप? हमारी आपको मालूम है, you are talking of 7% growth in the country. We are less than 5% because primarily we were an agriculture state. And the primary sector is only contributing 1%. हमारी बाकी इंडस्ट्री बंद हो गई है, तो हम कैसे चलाएंगे अपने पंजाब को? These people are not bothered because Mr. Badal and his cronies are raking in the money, and ये तो चले जाएंगे मुल्क को छोड़ के, हमने तो भाई यहाँ रहना है. हाँ. कौन कर रहा है जी? ये कौन कर रहा है? दैट इज़ वाई वी वांट कि अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का या हाई कोर्ट का सिटिंग जज हो, इन टोटलिटी इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होनी चाहिए, नॉट टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंस जो उनको सूट करती है. तो कभी का मांग रहे, इतना ढीठा निकलता ही नहीं है दोस्तों. हाँ
प्लीज.
हाँ जी, सॉरी. फिर पता लग जाएगा इनको. अब से बात का ये कल जो गया था मिस्टर मलूका अपने गांव में लोगों को कहने के लिए कि चलो उस मीटिंग के लिए, उसकी तो पिटाई हो गई. अब पता नहीं और कितनी की पिटाई होगी. Yes. We are not trying to do politics. We are trying to ask the president कि please ensure somehow that we get proper justice in Punjab, and the only justice we believe, he may have his own opinion, but we believe is that it should be a sitting judge of the courts, one of the courts, to go into the matter in entirety. This man is going there only to counter what we are saying, so that he can tell Punjab mein keh ke aaye hu. But let me tell you, please ask your colleagues what is the situation in Punjab, and they'll tell you. देखिए, मैं सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी को 31 ईयर से जानता हूँ. हम 1980 में पार्लियामेंट में करते थे. जितना उनसे मैं कम कहूँ ना, उतना ही बहुत है. Just leave him out of it. I have no respect 1% even for Mr. Subramanian Swami's opinions, and I don't care what he says. He says anything जिससे उसको headlines मिल जाए. आप दे देते हैं headlines, वो बोलता रहता है. पहली बात मैंने आपको I'll tell you, I'll come. अच्छा, आपने सवाल किया है तो मैं पूछूंगा. नंबर 1, सोशल मीडिया पे जो आ रहा है, सोशल मीडिया पे यहाँ आ रहा है, पर पंजाब में अखबारों में भी आ चुका है कि 2 peoples were intercepted their conversation. One Mr. Lali Majithia and one Mr. Harminder Singh Gill, वो भी तरन से, and telephones were taped. Who has authorized them to tape it? Is this allowed in this country? Number 1. If it was taped, I say it was not taped. It's a fabricated evidence. Today, electronically, you can fabricate anything you want. But if it was a genuine one, who has authorized them to tape? Supreme Court has said so, that you cannot tape. Therefore, they have to wake up. Then suddenly, after saying it once, their spokesperson, Mr. that doctor, I wish he's a better doctor than he's a spokesperson. पता नहीं उसका नाम क्या है उसका. Who knows that doctor, Chima doctor, somebody or the other. एक MLA-ship. I'll tell you, मैंने MLA-ship. देखिए, you all have, lot of people are very religious, some are religious, we all believe in religion, but some people are very religious. One MLA, सुनो तो, he was from Khadur Sahib. Khadur Sahib is part of Taran Taran. एंड तरन तारन के इनके खडूर साहब के गांव में, गांव बाट में एक गुरु ग्रंथ साहब इन्होंने फाड़ दिया था. सो ही गॉट वेरी हाईली इमोशनल. दैट वेरी डे, वेरी मॉर्निंग, ही सबमिटेड हिज रेजिग्नेशन टू द स्पीकर, एंड देन ही अटेंडेड द सरबत खालसा. बट इफ यू लुक एट हिज, लिसन टू हिज स्पीच, आई गॉट हिज स्पीच टू लिसन टू व्हाट ही सेड, एंड ही सेड कि वी आर हियर टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन पंजाब. ये कुछ हो रहा है, एंड आई वुड लाइक टू मेक श्योर that all of us understand that we are a multi-caste and multi-religion state, and this has got nothing to do with any community. All are Christians, Sikhs, Hindus, and Muslims and Jainis and Buddhists. We are all one Punjabi, so there should be no animosity, and there was no animosity in that. in that entire 1 lakh of crowd or something, there was no animosity whatsoever. It was entirely based on what was to be done, and the people were by and large disappointed because they thought that it would be a different sort of a thing. But here they started changing jathedars and all, which was not up to the people's liking. Sorry, can I just take that, please? A defamation suit on what? I mean, these people talk rubbish every day. You can't every day file defamation suit.
You can finish it.
Anything? Chale? Okay. Are they going to do kanuni karwai? Then he must start with his own father. Why did he tear the constitution? He tore the constitution. Why did he go and do an ardas in front of the Akal Takht कि जब टैक्स आएंगे अंदर पहले मेरे छाती के ऊपर से नजरेंगे भाग गया था उधर से. These sort of things are all happening.
Where do you stand on release of extremists by the Punjab government and on communication of Haryana? Where do you stand?
I do not believe in the arrest of people. Let me tell you. I have also been chief minister. You must negotiate and you must resolve a problem. You don't provoke people by arresting people. Now, as far as Havara's incident is concerned, he is already convicted for life. So there's no release of him. He's part of the Indian Penal Code system, and he's in the lockup.
Sir, do you feel Aam Aadmi Party is going to make dent to Congress Party's prospects in the general election of Punjab?
I don't think so. I think we are going to make a bigger dent in them. So I don't expect that the Aam Aadmi Party is going to give us much problem in Punjab. You must remember why. One, of course, Punjab's general opinion is that Kejriwal's performance here has been very poor. One. Secondly, the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab is divided into three. You have two MPs on one side, two MPs on the other side, and a third is Mr. Pulka, who is doing his independent bicycling around the state. He loves doing that. But he has. So everyone, nobody is taking him seriously. They have their support base. There's somewhat a support base there. I mean, take my seat. I thought that I would probably lose about 20,000 votes to the Aam Aadmi. I lost 80,000. So there is a support base. But from the parliamentary elections, it has gone down. And I think we don't need to worry about it. Okay.
Thank you.